Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Renee, and today I just wanted to share with you how we do structure and style in our homeschool. Structure and style is through IEW, which is Institute of Excellence in Writing. And so here's the one that we are on. This is my parent guide. We're almost done with 1B. We started at 1A and then 1B. I need to look at it. They have on their website the order. So if you started at level 2, maybe your child was a little older when you started or more advanced in that. So they have different schedules for you to follow online so that you know you're doing the right thing. So anyway, like I said, we're almost done with this one. We'll probably have to buy the new one maybe in October. We're not doing writing through the summer, but I just kind of wanted to go over what a week looks like in our writing for homeschool. So this is my copy and my teacher book, and it has everything written out. So it tells you the goal of this unit. The goal is to write source outlines from multiple references. So they'll have multiple stories, and then you will write a fused outline. This one's just a 2-paragraph. My kids will like that. And then they'll learn a couple of vocabulary words. So we usually do writing 3 days a week, and we don't do it every week. It takes a lot of time. I would like to at least write 2 or 3 a month. So the first one, you're going to watch the part 1 of the video, and then you'll write a keyword outline. And he reads the stories with you, and there's a class, there's other students in the videos, and so they kind of talk about it, and that he teaches some of the new concepts. And so then that's day 1 for us generally, and then we will write our keyword outline, at least start it. He'll usually tell you how much of it you need to complete that day. So day 2 of writing is usually to watch the second part of the video, and then they go ahead and write their paragraphs. And after they've written their paragraphs, then they give their paper to me. And in this curriculum, there's a letter to your editor for the kids to choose their editor and give to them. And it explains kind of what he wants us as parents or teachers to do. I kind of wrote some of this down to read. But the job of the editor is to simply correct the grammar and the spelling mistakes. It's not to rewrite their paper, to try to make it sound better. He even encourages to undercorrect because they're learning new concepts, and he just encourages you to keep the child's work the way it is and just do the bare minimum. Sometimes a sentence will not make sense because he has you put he calls it dress up words. So you'll have ly adverbs or who, which clause, stuff like that. And so a lot of times, even my youngest more, but it's he'll write his paper and then he goes through his little checklist and he's like, oh, I gotta, so he'll try to fit it into something he already has. Sometimes it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I love that he's trying. And so if I'll help him, just some suggestions. And if it's somewhat workable, doable, then I'll just leave it alone. He's my kid that is more independent with that. He doesn't really want my help. So if I start to help him too much, then he's like, that's, I'm terrible. And so my middle child is more, Mom, can you help me? So anyway, yeah, he wants you to keep corrections at a minimum. We don't want to discourage our kids. I love that. And then the best part is he tells them that their editor needs to be compensated for their time, and says, maybe a good shoulder massage or a special chore or something like that. So that's always kind of funny. I just really like how he teaches. And like I said, I had zero idea on how to teach writing before this program. So I love that this has everything so laid out for us as parents. And if you just kind of follow along and like we tweak it to work for us, but we definitely do follow along. Um, After they've written their rough draft and I've edited it, then usually the third day the boys will, we've gotten to where we're typing it just so they can get better at typing. And that's actually what he says. Now, when we did the first level, I just had them write it. I wanted them to slow down and work on handwriting. And the rough draft can be messy, whatever, but the final draft, I liked trying to get them to do that. So anyway, I wanted to show you, hold up. At the end, there is a checklist for the students. So they put their name. It reminds them to put their date and name on the paper, their title on the paper. Like I said, make sure they have ly adverbs, who, which clauses. It tells how many to have. This one has, you need to have a strong verb in each of your paragraphs. This one is actually a 5-paragraph paper. You need to have ly adverb, who, which clause, strong verb, a because clause, quality adjective, and www.asia clause. So they have to have one of those in each paragraph. And when they do it, they just underline that word. And so it's real easy for me when I'm editing it to say, oh, okay, well, there's, that those words stand out to me. So that's been really good. And then here, even on their sentence openers, he wanted them to have one of each as possible of a prepositional and an ly adverb. And then he has, there's banned words that you're not supposed to use. It's like say, said, see, saw, think, thought, eat, ate, go, went, good and bad. And then, so they check that off themselves, and then spelling, grammar, that kind of thing. I like it because it does allow them to be somewhat independent they know everything that's expected of them basically with this paper. It is like right in front of them. So make sure you check everything off your list before you give me the rough draft. And so that's really good. Another thing that they have that has been so helpful is a portable wall. Make sure I don't have stuff with my information, which I do. Hold on. Okay, so like I said, with all the different things, dress up, say, I want you to put in, they give you a lot of examples, ly adverbs, ly imposters, prepositions, your strong verbs, substitutes for said. And this has been just really helpful too. Each of my boys have one of these, and then I have one as well. So if they're talking to me or whatever, I can kind of help them come up with a good word. A couple of things that I learned from Andrew Pudua during that convention that I went to. So good. He was one of my favorite speakers because he was just really, really knowledgeable. He taught a master class on 4 deadly errors in writing, and I had taken notes, and so I thought I would just kind of summarize. These 4 have helped me in helping my kids with this curriculum. The first one was just remember that you are the editor. You're trying to help them be the best writers that they can be. You don't want to try to change up their story because you think it sounds better, or do anything that would just cause them to think they did a bad job. So that was one. Let me see. Try to have as few corrections as possible. You want to keep the paper legal and have it make sense, but you also want it to be their work and not yours. When you overcorrect, you're implying that they're wrong. And when you're learning, it's not fun to feel like you're not doing a good job. So I really like that he stresses that, because I think, I want my kids to learn. And so sometimes I can get probably, well, no, you have to do that right, or this doesn't make sense, or I wonder if sometimes my expectations might be a little higher. So this reminds me that, this learning thing, it's a process. And I really like his advice. Number two, always remember you cannot help a child too much. If your child asks for help, we don't say, well, you just figure it out, because they don't know. They're asking for help. Don't withhold help. He says to offer help when asked. Your goal is to make better writers of your children. It's not to help them create a better paper. And I liked that. Number three was always have clear instructions, clear expectations, so your child knows exactly what is required of them. Be sure that you can do the task that you're asking your child to do. So that was good. And lastly, number four, he said, only have reasonable expectations. We don't want to compare our child to other children. We don't want to base our expectations on grade level or age. We just want our child to do the best that they can do and to grow and learn, at their pace. And the goal is actually just to have your particular child do their best. And I think if that's the focus, it's more enjoyable for our kids. I feel like there's less pressure. There's not as much stress. So anyway, I think he's just has so much knowledge. And anytime that I have a chance to listen to a podcast of his, I just always feel like I learn a lot. We are going to continue with IEW. They go up to even high school, and they have books where you don't have the online teacher. I'm going to stick with the online teacher. I just like it. And then they also, I've noticed, I saw that they had a speech even. So like high school grade speech. I didn't realize that they had that. This curriculum has just been a really big blessing for our family. And I just wanted to share that. We will definitely stick with this. So that is our writing curriculum. And I hope you're having a good week. We just got back from our family vacation. We went on a cruise to the Bahamas with our best friends. And so there was 11 of us total. And we just had so much fun. We went to Key West and then Freeport and then Half Moon Cay, which we did Carnival. It's their own port. And then we did Nassau. And so I'll share a couple of pictures. One of the coolest things was in Nassau, we got to see a manatee just in the wild. It swam up, and that was so cool. And so anyway, I'll put some pictures, maybe a video, but I just hope that you're having a good week. And if you stuck around, thank you for watching my video. And if you would, I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.